Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. Hang on a second here. We'll get the screen share going on. So, the day before the U.S. Thanksgiving, it's always a little bit dicey. I wonder how today is going to shape up. Right now, well, it looks like there was a little bit of a rally here pre-market. Oh no, it looks like maybe they're getting a little giddy up here. The tendency, of course, is for the markets to be very thin before a holiday break. Here's the daily session. Just to review what was going on yesterday, a very bearish day yesterday. It did have this little bit of a tail on it, though, and that's going to have some bullish tendency to it. A lot of volume going through here yesterday as well. And again, that could have something to do with the pending holiday. Right now, though, it looks like we've gotten some pretty solid signals out of the open. For those of you who like your first in-sync eagle signal, that's it right there. Very strong move higher. And likewise here on the Raptor, we got a number one signal where everything was in sync, no problem hitting our profit target there. I think we'll just stay with it for a little while and just see how things start to shape up here. Actually, going back to the daily chart, I do believe, oh yes, see where the market closed down here and where we're opening up here? That leaves us with a bit of a downside gap. Yesterday's high, 66.70. So if we break 66.70, that's going to open things up here for the buyers. That will be a number to keep in mind. Not going to rush things here this morning. At least I'm going to try not to rush things this morning. We're only a few minutes into the day. Back to the hard edge. This is, right now is a test of the extreme. Back to the hard edge again. If it fails, it's likely to produce a sell signal. There we go. And the market could fall off from here. Maybe try to get in back to this old trading range that emerged from. I think the way I would handle it, though, is at the very least, I would leave a trend line, something like that. That's tricky because right now you can see we're against the ATR. Let's do our little trading range thingy. Don't know if that qualifies as a breakout yet. Definitely a Sorry about that. My microphone crapped out. Just bear with me here a moment while I cover this trade. So you didn't hear that because my microphone was acting up, but what I said was we had the breakout, we had the retest here. Now we came back with a with trend signal confirming the rule of three signal that was developing here on the Eagle. And it looks like that was a nice little move lower, a brisk move lower. We would have had a comparable signal on the other tools as well. So here on the Falcon, a really nice late filter entry signal. Filter going out of sync, coming back into sync. The trend line itself never changing color. Here on the Raptor, this was the same setup right here. Here's the breakout, here's the retest, here's the number one signal. Boom, down she goes. I might leave that line up there just a little bit longer. All right, well, here we go with a little hesitation again. A nice, quick little move like that, and then they stop. All right, well, we're moving a little bit sideways again. Like I said, going to try not to press my luck here. Ooh. Wasn't quite expecting that. It does appear right now as though they may be trying to get into that early morning gap. I didn't think they had that much left to the short side after that quick little move that we just saw. And, you know, the lows of the morning to deal with, or of the open. Well, they spent a little time there, not much. There's that block of selling that dropped the market right there. All right, a little bit of support. Okay. So we're back to the hard edge. Things kind of moving in slow motion here this morning. All right, let's see if we can't find another decent trade here. Did we retrace? Well, we retraced back to this breakout. So here's the little zone that we broke out from. Very, very quick move back. Here, this is actually the retest of this breakout. Depending how aggressive you want to be on this trade, you could put a buy order above there. The logic here says that if this breakout is going to continue, then the market has to actually trade below these lows right here. If the breakout fails, however, the market's going to try to trade back to the top end of the trading range and perhaps even higher. Now, stop placement with these types of trades is always tricky. In fact, I'm going to probably, well, you could try to use a couple trend lines here to decide where the market may be finding support. Ideally, you want your stop below those. Yeah. Well, I did say it was a more aggressive version of this trade, of this whole breakout scenario trade. Not necessarily convinced I was on the wrong side of that one. Sometimes when these, you're going to find the more reliable breakouts are the ones that retest quickly. Right, so here is the breakout. Here's the retest. Here we go. There's the signal, and we're off to the races. This one, the market fell out the bottom and didn't even give us another chance at a retest until we got right here. At which time you could throw your sell order down here. This can be your just in case order. But you see what happens is you get an early pushback because of all this buying right here. And in my case, it wasn't enough to counteract what came before. All right, let's put that away for now. We got a lot of sidewaysness going on. Look at how tight our trading band has become. The Hawk's already bullish, the Eagle relatively neutral, the Falcon moderately bullish. I say that because the trend line keeps changing color here, as does the filter. Wow, here we are all the way back now to the lows of the morning, way down here. This could be a really, really broad trading range that we're looking at today. Well, we got a couple follow-up signals here. Ooh, what a strong move. It's almost as though, the trend is down, and you could get on board with any of these discretionary signals, these additional signals that print, if they're going to give me that chance. Need to see a little bit of a pullback. Oh, here we go. All right. I don't know if we're going to get all the way to the hard edge on this one. Oh, yeah, there we go. Have you ever seen so many straight moves? Like no hesitation, no counter selling. The market just goes up and it goes down and it goes up and it goes down. All right, we did make it all the way here to the hard edge on the Raptor and the Eagle. Let's see what we get in the way of a reaction now. Well, they're thinking about it. A slight hesitation here. And now our band getting all intertwined again. Was a little bit of follow through though on the Hawk and Falcon signals. And now actually a late filter entry signal here on the Falcon. Ooh, I'm going to be a little bit late for that one. The late filter entry signal right here. Filter out of sync, back into sync. Trend line not changing color. printing the signal. It concerns me a little bit because the trend is so strong to the downside, but I suppose you do have a second push opportunity. And not a half bad place to put your stops as well. So it's not ideal. But it's not terrible either, especially using the second push entry. Oh, all right. Well, here we go. Okay, so they didn't waste too much time on that one. Quick little move up. Well, that was confirmed here. That Falcon signal was duplicated here on the Raptor with a very nice number one signal. Your cloud crossover. All right, a little bit of a pullback now. Not a bad run up, but now they seem to be slowing again. So we kind of took advantage of this leg right here. I'm almost thinking huge trading range. Selling up here, buying down here. Here now, a little bit of a bullish break. Come on, give me another bear bar. So what we're looking at right now is a possible retest. So I want to see the market get down here and retest the breakout. It's so tempting to throw in a buy order. Okay, that's, well, not much better of a retest, but they're trying. Okay, this is close enough now to a retest where, once again, we can say, all right, well, if this breakout is going to stick, the market does have to trade above those highs right there. Hey, way to go, Ray. Ray says, I scalped one contract and got $33. Nicely done. Good job. Okay, now they're starting to drift back inside that trading range, if in fact it is a trading range. Okay, and here we go. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a reaction now. So we'll see whether or not the buyers have it in hand to rally the market up. Here's a green bar sell. It's currently against the ATR, so if you wanted to tighten your entry, you could use that bar right there as your signal bar. You could bring it in above there. The original entry was right here, of course. Oh, great little follow through on that. I was going to highlight the original entry. Looks like maybe we got slipped a few ticks here, and I think I'm going to go with a more aggressive stop at this point. Oh, all right. Not a bad little move. Just a quick breakout, retest, continuation higher. It was a little bit easier to see here on the Eagle because we're getting actually a lot of bars printing. But the same thing was going on the other tools as well. On the Falcon, like I say, it's a little bit difficult to see. You could scrunch up your Falcon chart. Got a very decent trend change signal on the retest. So this was the breakout. Here is the retest. This was the same signal. Likewise here on the Raptor. Right here, this was the breakout. Here was the retest. And then we came back with a nice little number one signal. Everything in sync, and away we go. Not quite like shooting fish in a barrel today, but a nice trade all the same. Well, now all of a sudden we're turning a little bit bearish again. We're printing a number one signal right here, and this certainly is offering an interesting opportunity. It came down really, really quickly here. Oh, wow, looks like all the moves are quick here today. I was going to recommend a second push opportunity. The market moves so fast. Had you taken it on the hash mark, you would have hit your profit objective. And now we're kind of bouncing back from that. Like I said, we've got a very broad trading range going on here today. And our number one signal, after hitting its profit target, is now producing a pair of number two signals. Oh, here we go now with trend signal again. So we're kind of all over the map right now. I was going to say, technically, you could interpret this as a number three signal. And because it came hot on the heels of those two number two signals, you could expect it to have a little bit of follow through to it, which it seems to have done. Looks like we're going to get a discretionary signal if you wanted to try to catch up with that. We've got the warning dots. We haven't printed the signal just yet. Let's see if we can sneak down there toward the break even. Didn't I slip on this one? Look at that. There was a 3-tick slip on that one. I thought the market might be getting a touch thin here today. All right, so we got a couple of bearish bars here. Depending how aggressive you want to be on your stops, and given the market is a little bit funky today, I'm going to roll my stops in a little bit. Yeah, and maybe just as well that I took the early stop out there. Seems like today we've got to get on early with the signal because the follow through is definitely a little limited. Right after I say that, watch the bottom fall out of the market. Oh, you guys. All right, maybe I shouldn't have been so aggressive with my stop. Look at that. Oh, I hate that. That's what just drives me bonkers, those types of things. Where you're right about the trade, but I managed it a little bit too aggressively and paid the price. Yeah, Phil says, check your liquidity. We're really low. Lord of the Flies liquidity. Yeah, well, you know, if it's like that on the NASDAQ or the S&P, it's going to be even worse on the NASDAQ. Well, we'll stay with it here to the bottom of the hour, and then I think we may close up shop because it is just that type of day today. A lot of people looking to get their holidays prepped and traveling for holidays and so on. You can kind of get a feel for the sideways churn now. Here, once again, the daily chart. There's our session so far. Now, admittedly, it is still early, but it has a definite tight little trading range to it. All right, so do we think the trend is down? Then here we have our number 3 signal. When it printed, it was against our little ATR filter here. Now it's in sync with the filter, so you could have set up to short as I did here. But that didn't last. Bounced away from that. All right, here we go with another bullish push. We've got a first micro macro cross and a macro pullback here on the hawk. Ooh, baby, we are bouncing all over the place here. I was just about to look at doing an early cloud crossover signal here on the Raptor. Cloud's not fully crossed, but we're getting there. So the next, you could interpret this as your early number 1 signal. You could actually take your next one as your early number 1 signal. Or you could wait for the proper number 1 signal. All right, we have a couple hesitations there. Ooh, they already zipped past me. So all I'm doing here is I'm anticipating, oh, the number one signal did print. So here's the second push now on that number one signal. Oh, got a little positive slippage on that one. If we get it. Come on. You stinkers. Nope. Yeah, we're still just bouncing back and forth here. All right, here we got a number three signal, but it is against our little ATR filter. We've got a red bar buy signal here on the Eagle as well. So the Eagle's already queued up to be more bullish. Falcon's trying to do a trend change signal. The Hawk has a green bar sell, which could be bought. You could set up to buy the failure. So the green bar sell is actually, it would be a sell signal, but it tends to develop near the end of a trend and therefore offers you a failure opportunity. Not a bad way to go today, you know, just grabbing those little scalp targets. There's follow through on pretty much all our scalp signals. The first micro, macro, cross, macro pullback there. Then we were kind of shut out a little bit here. First micro, macro, cross lower. Got low enough to hit the scalp target, then reversed and gave us the green bar sell that we just bought. And now we got a lot of yellow bars again. So that's kind of putting the nicks in the wrinkle, as they like to say. Okay, well, we're definitely seeing a little bit of a bull rush here on this last leg up. See if we come back here, get anything resembling a hard edge bounce, and I might be persuaded to try to buy that again. We've got the trend line touch going on here in the Falcon. Oh, are they not going to give me another chance? All right, here now a little bit of a pullback. Hey, great little tip here from Ray. Says, using the ADX indicator has improved my trades. When it goes sideways, I sit on the side until it goes back to trend to see if the Raptor could show a good number 1 or number 3 signal. Fantastic. I love that. Ray, do you put that straight on your Raptor chart, just with the regular Raptor settings? I'm curious, because I know Floyd likes to run a 30-second ADX chart next to his, and he'll do the same thing. He'll look for the ADX indicator to indicate some sort of trend. All right, so here now we have the number 3 signal, and I was going to hold out for a second push, and I got it right there. Ooh, are they going to run on me? Frank's asking, Eric, what size monitor are you using? I've got two 21-inch and a 24. The one you're viewing is my 21. So I've got charts on the 221s, and then the 24 has got the screen share software and that sort of thing on it. Okay, great little follow through on that. Ray says I use another chart, but the setting is on the mean Renko 8 ticks. Okay, so I'm curious now. Let's see what the ADX looks like on the Raptor. I'll make it a pretty color. Do you use the standard 25 as a guide, or do you reduce it? I think Floyd's got his down to 20, if I remember right. Okay, so Ray says he uses the standard. All right, let's see what this looks like. Nice thing about the Raptor and the DTS tools in general is that, you know, the signal system is robust enough that if you wanted to use ADX, by all means, use ADX. If you want to use, like Mike Filigera likes fast stochastics, the only guy I've ever known who uses fast stochastics. So the thing to understand with ADX is it is a non-directional indicator. In other words, it only measures the strength of trend. So here you see it's above the line, but prices are going lower. So this tells you that this downtrend is probably intact. And you can see it worked out pretty well at this point here. It gets above the ADX line, we produce a number 1 signal, and lo and behold, prices continue lower. Once it gets below the line, it tells you that you're lacking trend. So don't expect a lot of follow through. So here we are now above the ADX. And like I said, I think Floyd uses a a level of 20. So if you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, his level is set a little bit lower. But we're certainly above the values that would suggest we have a trend. So you could look for a possible with trend signal there. The thing, whenever you're adding anything to your charts, just remember that it has to help you make a decision. You're never ever going to filter out all your losing trades, and honestly, that's not the point. The point is you have to be able to make a decision on your trades. Believe me when I say that is far more important. It sounds strange to a lot of people. What? More important than being right? Yeah, more important than being right. Because it's so easy to clutter up your charts with too much. Yeah, Ray says he puts it on another chart because he uses a couple other indicator warehouse indicators on his Raptor screen. I know that's why I only have one add-on per chart, because it can get a little cumbersome. Here we are, we've gone very neutral again. I'm looking back on my chart thinking, Eric, you should just be scalping out on a few trades. It was a nice little first micro macro cross up here, a macro pullback, another first micro macro cross. It piggybacked onto a 4-arrow consolidation. There is definite slippage going on today, though. You see how quickly the market is moving back and forth. Scary. I don't know if I want to try another trade. And of course, we're back to the hard edge of the trading band. Everything's gotten really neutral. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's no, let's leave well enough alone. Let's take a look here. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Well, we got a rule of 3 here in the Eagle. We've had an uptrend, the market's come down, we've produced loads of counter trend signals. I would entertain it perhaps below that low right there, maybe not too aggressively on the short. This is actually a pretty decent test of the extreme, the retest of this high. No, don't need to be manufacturing a trade. All right, let's put that away. We're going to be getting conflicting signals here in a moment, I think, although we do have a number one signal to buy. All right, this could be the last trade here this morning. Looking for a retest of the high. We've come into the hard edge. We produce a number one signal. And now we're fading again, so we'll scrub that. Things are going to become even more erratic as the morning goes on. And we continue to bounce back and forth. Well, are the sellers going to make another run at it? They didn't want to. They didn't want to buy. Ooh, what a quick little move. You can see the market moved so quickly. It didn't even meet many of the signal parameters. We couldn't even generate an early cloud cross signal here. I think things are just starting to get really, really thin here. We'll stay with it for a few minutes more. Here's a number one signal. This will be the last trade for me here this morning. We'll see whether there's any follow through on that. See if the market trade back to 6,600 where we spent a little bit of time this morning. Come on, give me a couple of bearish bars here and I will jam my stop in there. All right, well, I was very, very aggressive with my stop there, and the market may well continue lower from here, but I don't care. It's that kind of day. You don't want to press your luck. Antonio asks, Eric, what do you think about the swing indicator for the Raptor? It's interesting. Are you referring here to the trade forecaster? I'm not sure which swing indicator. The bottom line is always, does it help you make a trading decision? Oh, I see, the Ninja 8 swing indicator. I haven't played with that yet, Antonio. But again, if it helps you make a decision, great, go with it. All indicators work until they don't work. The key is to find a signal that you can trust, and if that swing indicator helps you make that decision, then by all means go for it. I don't think Mark's in the room here this morning, but he focuses really on just one or two signals. His personal favorite here on the Falcon is the late filter entry signal, which is this one right here. Right, so your filter out of sync, back into sync, trend line not changing color, you produce a signal. That's a signal that he takes a great deal of confidence from. And he'll exercise extreme discipline and wait for that one signal. By the way, that signal is duplicated on the Raptor. It will probably be a number 3 signal, very likely. So the thing to do if you're experimenting with ADX or fast stochastics or the swing indicator is go ahead, throw it on your chart and grab your chart and roll it back and then just kind of scroll it forward and see how the signal responds. So let's say in this case we're using like the ADX line. And here's a number 2 signal that's in sync. Does the signal work out? Does it not work out? Why? And then see if you can learn from it and see how well your additional indicator works. Make notes. It's not that you ever have to review these things, but the simple act of writing things down, it imprints it on your mind. That's why I'm a big proponent of keeping a handwritten journal, because you will start to spot patterns. You will start to spot things that work and don't work. And honestly, folks, it does not take you that long. I guarantee you within a couple of weeks, if you're diligent, if you're serious, within a couple of weeks, you're going to start to recognize patterns of things that are working and things that are not working. And then it just becomes a matter of doing more of the things that work and avoiding the things that don't work. And that, in a nutshell, is trading. So yeah, feel free to experiment. Feel free to play with other indicators and see what they do for you. And then when you can get yourself to that point where you have the confidence, like I know one of our owners loves the Geiger counter. He will not take a signal that is not in sync with the Geiger counter. So here, well, I can't show you one right now because we don't have a signal developing. But let's say this number 1 signal that printed, he would want to see his Geiger counter red. I don't know how strict he is. I think he actually likes to see the needle turn red on a sell signal and turn green on a buy signal. That's something that he's followed and he takes a great deal of confidence with. Does it work all the time? No, of course not. But it works enough that when it happens, he can pull the trigger on the trade. And that's really what matters. So here we've got the Geiger counter needle red. He would probably have been interested in this particular signal right here, which is basically just a discretionary signal. But look, he would have hit his profit objective. And, you know, then you sit back and you wait for the next one. All right, gang. Oh, Antonio says I don't have that on my Raptor. I have a few system add-ons. There's one on each of the charts. The Geiger counter is here on the Raptor. I have the trade forecaster here on the Eagle. I have the Day Ranger here on the Hawk. I could put all these on the same chart, but it just gets a little bit too cluttered. So I've split them up, one on each. They're all useful. You know, they all have their attributes, but I don't want you thinking, you know, the secret sauce is adding yet another indicator. And now I'm not trying to talk you out of it. If you wanted to add it to your chart, then, but of course, by all means. But that is a very slippery slope, you know, where you just start throwing more and more stuff on your charts, trying to eliminate the bad signals. It comes down basically to identifying trend and then trying to pick your opportunity. You'll normally do better on pullbacks within a trend. So if you can establish a trend and you can see a pullback, you'll usually do better trying to take advantage of a resumption in trend. If you can't identify a trend, then you really need to stay outside of the market. As you've seen me do here on the Eagle recently, identifying trading ranges, looking for breakouts, looking for retests, and possible trend resumptions. Those are all high probability opportunities, and these are ones that you can do on the Raptor as well, or the Falcon or the Hawk. These are not unique to the Eagle. I only show you on the Eagle because of the larger brick size. I can show you more chart in less space. I know Raptor owners, like I said, one uses fast stochastics, a couple use ADX, at least a couple use MACD. So, but they help. They help them make their trading decision. Speaking of additional software, and yes, Antonio, the Geiger counter is available for Ninja 8. We're, along with the rest of the world, going to be having a Black Friday sale. You'll probably be getting that email today. So for a week, it's a week-long sale because of the holiday and everything. I'm sure the last thing you want to be doing is trying to take advantage of a sale on trading software. But it is the last sale of the year, and it's one of our bigger sales. So for the next week, if you're looking to add anything from the indicator warehouse trading assortment, all the trading indicators, including trading systems, are available at a discount. So you can look at for that email. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always email me. Have yourselves a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Remember, no trading room tomorrow. The markets are closed. No trading room Friday. Trust me, it's not worth it. I will see you again on Monday. And yeah, have a great time. Have a great weekend. Eat lots of turkey. I'm tempted to say, remember, you are what you eat. All right. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye for now.